The tropics are heat potential systems to watch closely this hurricane season. Hello, viewers. Here is our Dallas-Fort Worth weather forecast. Today, the weather in North Texas continues to be complicated, with a combination of hot, humid weather, and the possibility of scattered thunderstorms. As we move deeper into the Atlantic hurricane season, signs are mounting that the tropics are about to become far more active. The atmosphere is stirring, the water is warming, and the models? They're starting to agree on one thing. We're not going to be bored in the coming weeks. Right now, there are three primary areas of concern that demand our attention. An already identified disturbance known as Invest 95L, a developing system off the southeast U.S. coast, and a tropical wave emerging from the African coastline that may develop into something serious. In this article, we'll break down each system's current status, the science behind their formation, and what forecasters expect in the days ahead. What's fueling these developments? Warm waters and the atmosphere's silent hand. At the core of any tropical system lies one fundamental driver: warm water. Specifically, sea surface temperatures, SSTs, above 26.5 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, are typically needed for a tropical storm to form and strengthen. Right now, large swaths of the Atlantic, especially near the Gulf Stream and the Eastern Basin, are showing SSTs well above that threshold. These warm waters are essentially high-octane fuel for storms. As air at the ocean surface heats up and rises, it creates areas of low pressure. The surrounding cooler air rushes in, and a spinning storm system begins to take shape. That's what we're seeing with Invest 95L, a young storm drawing power from a warm Atlantic base, aided by low vertical wind shear and ample mid-level moisture. But water temperature isn't the only player here. Enter the Madden-Julian Oscillation, MJO, a large-scale pattern of tropical rainfall and convection that moves around the globe every 30 to 60 days. When the MJO is in a favorable phase for the Atlantic, as it is now, it tends to enhance storm formation by reducing wind shear and increasing atmospheric instability. That combination makes the environment much more inviting for disturbances like 95L to flourish. Closer to home, a brewing threat off the southeast U.S. coast. While Invest 95L remains far from land, attention is shifting toward the frontal boundary parked off the southeast U.S. coastline. These lingering boundaries, remnants of stalled cold fronts or jet stream dips, often serve as fertile grounds for homegrown tropical mischief. Currently, this system is not well defined. There is no named Invest yet, but the ingredients are there: a stationary front, abundant moisture, and a patch of warm coastal waters that could incubate a tropical low. Midweek forecasts are calling for significant rainfall and soggy conditions across the Carolinas and parts of Georgia. Even if tropical development doesn't fully materialize, the real intrigue here comes from model consensus. Both the European, ECMWF, and American, GFS, models, along with their ensemble runs, are increasingly showing signs of a weak low-pressure area forming just offshore around Wednesday or Thursday. Some solutions spin it up into a minimal tropical or subtropical system. Others keep it more of a rainmaker. What's certain is that rainfall will be heavy, particularly in coastal and low-lying areas. Localized flooding can't be ruled out, and if this feature does consolidate, steering currents suggest a northward or northeastward drift, potentially scraping the outer banks or moving out to sea. Either way, this is a developing story that deserves close monitoring. What this means for you. So, what should you take away from all of this? Here's the bottom line. Wave Invest 95L is a 50-50 shot to become Tropical Storm Dexter, but should remain in the open Atlantic. Cloud with rain. A coastal front near the southeast U.S. may bring heavy rains and has the potential for homegrown tropical development midweek. Globe. The African wave holds the greatest long-term potential, with conditions looking favorable for it to become a significant storm in August. These systems may not all become hurricanes, but they're early warnings that the season is waking up. Now is the time to review your hurricane preparedness plan. Check emergency supplies, and stay informed through trusted sources. Tropical forecasting is as much art as science. Models evolve, Tracks shift, conditions change hour to hour. But the signals we're seeing now, rising ocean heat, a supportive MJO, decreasing wind shear, are all classic signs of a ramping hurricane season. If there's one lesson from history, it's that a quiet start doesn't always mean a quiet finish. Hurricane seasons are often defined not by their quantity, but by the impact of one or two major systems. So, stay alert, watch the tropics, and remember, your best defense is early preparation. We'll continue monitoring these developments daily and will provide updates as new data comes in. Be sure to follow local meteorological updates and official alerts from the National Hurricane Center. Stay safe, stay prepared, and stay ahead of the storm. Early this morning, images from cameras in the Dallas Baptist University area showed a fairly clear sky, with light sunshine and temperatures quickly approaching 80 degrees Fahrenheit, equivalent to about 27 degrees Celsius. However, the humidity in the air is causing the heat index, also known as the feels like, to be higher than it actually is, creating a feeling of heat and stuffiness when going outside. Meanwhile, in downtown Dallas, the clouds are still lingering, causing temperatures to temporarily cool down. However, the forecast shows that the clouds will gradually dissipate during the day. And when the sun reappears, the entire area will quickly become hot and humid. Weather models are currently showing the potential for showers and thunderstorms throughout the morning and afternoon. The areas most likely to be affected are north of US 380 and west of I-35 West. However, forecasters warn that the weather pattern is still changing hourly, and isolated thunderstorms could form unexpectedly in various parts of the region. Of note, a weak cold front combined with a low-pressure system moving in from the northwest could produce a more severe round of thunderstorms tonight and into tomorrow morning. The system is forecast to move southeast, affecting western parts of the metroplex. Although weakening, the system could still produce localized heavy rain and strong winds overnight. Drivers should use caution on the road Monday morning, as roads may be slippery and visibility may be limited. After this rain system passes through mid-morning on Monday, the region will enter a period of dry, hot weather. The forecast calls for a permanent area of high pressure, known as a heat dome, to form over much of North Texas starting Tuesday afternoon. This will trap hot air at low levels, preventing clouds from forming and keeping cooler air from moving in from elsewhere. Temperatures will continue to rise steadily throughout the day under the influence of the heat dome. From the 90s tomorrow, temperatures will continue to rise to 93 to 95 degrees by midweek, with the possibility of reaching the 100s by the end of the week. Especially on Saturday, high humidity will make it feel even hotter than it actually is, with heat indexes likely to exceed 100 to 105 degrees between 2 and 5 p.m. These are dangerous weather conditions for health, especially for the elderly, children and those working outdoors. People should pay attention to drinking enough water, resting regularly, and avoiding direct exposure to sunlight for long periods of time. Be especially vigilant for symptoms of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. Regarding rainfall, the possibility of rain after Tuesday is almost negligible. Irrigation, crop care or air conditioning maintenance should be prioritized during this time, before the weather becomes even drier and hotter. Here is the detailed forecast for the next 7 days. Sunday, cloudy, hot and humid, with a possibility of localized thunderstorms. Monday, early morning rain, then dry and hot again. Tuesday, hot and dry, heat dome forming. Wednesday to Friday, temperatures gradually increase. Sunny, no rain. Saturday, temperatures are expected to reach 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the hottest day of the week. Dear friends, the weather this coming week is likely to be extreme and prolonged, requiring people across the region to be proactive in responding. Limit outdoor activities during peak hours. Ensure ventilation and cooling in your home, and monitor weather reports for the latest developments. Thank you for watching the DFW Weather Report. All updates will be posted on the official channel and website. Wishing you a safe and cool Sunday.